polyoma. It's a sickness that the siblings get that they do not survive.
He brought out 2 birds. One girl bought one. I took one home. It died, and then hers died the next day.
And I told her, I says, I think Randy stole money from you. And I says, let me get her to admit it to me. If she does, I will pay you that money.
A couple hours later, I fed it, and then I went to bed and got up at 3 o'clock in the morning to check on it, and it was dead.
That's completely unreasonable.
If you want to fight, I can get you boxing gloves, but we're not here for that. My first case ever with worms.
Come here, Sophie. Get him, Rusty.
Can I say something?
No. If she hadn't had an oral agreement, how do you do? I know you've all been sworn. I have read your complaint, ma'am. You're suing for breach of a contract where you purchased a bird from the defendant?
4 birds.
4 birds, okay. And how much did you pay for them?
$450 each for the first 2, or for a total of $900. $400 each for the second 2, for a total of $800. Total of $1,700 altogether.
Okay. And was one of them defective or all of them defective?
Well, the first 2, the situation was that the birds would be purchased because he needed to sell them early, and that he would feed them out for several weeks and then bring them to me when they were larger. But it went on for months, and for some reason I couldn't get my birds. They just weren't there. He wasn't home.
When was this contract made?
Very early 1998, I believe. The reason I have to say I believe is I had a dwelling fire 3 months ago and 100% destruction, so my records...
When did you get the birds?
I got them several months later, and
you know approximately which month?
Probably about April.
Okay. Were they all defective, or
no,
1 or 2?
Well, I only got 2. At that point, I had bought the 2 who had not yet been delivered, but I had also purchased the other 2. But the first 2 came, and I have 2 hand feeders. One took one home, and it died that night, and the other one purchased the bird for herself, and it died the next day.
So the 2 birds died?
Yes, and then the other 2...
Are these the ones you paid $450 each for?
$450 each. And then the other 2 birds...
Was there a necropsy performed?
No, because it costs almost as much as the birds cost. And
how do you know why they died?
I don't really, except that they died so quickly. It had to be something that well, as a matter of fact, when they came, when the girls took them, they said the birds just don't look good.
How old were the birds?
Oh, I think about probably 5-6 weeks.
Are you the lady who took care of the birds?
Yes. I took one bird. It was about 4 weeks old, and I took it home. It had no life in it. You know, it was just didn't want to eat or anything. I took it home and gave it some Pedialyte, and then a couple hours.
What's Pedialyte?
Enzymes.
Okay.
Then a couple hours later, I fed it, and then I went to bed and got up at 3 o'clock in the morning to check on it, and it was dead.
What was the condition of these birds when you sold them, when you turned them over to the plaintiff, sir?
In '97, I sold her 2 baby umbrellas that for $450 each. I told her I would hand feed them till they were 5 or 6, 7 weeks old. She says, that's fine. Started hand feeding them. She called my wife at about 10:30 at night and says, can you bring one of the babies out? I have it sold. My wife says, sure, Louise. Took it to Louise. Louise was supposed to have a person to buy it. In the meantime, I built her nest boxes too. So my wife took some nest boxes out there a week later to deliver them. She says, Carmen, my person that was going to buy this bird did not buy it. I would like to know if you would hand feed it until it is the same age as the other one. And my wife says, I will have to ask my husband, Steve. She called me on the phone, and I said, yes, providing that you will sign a receipt saying I am not liable if something happens to the bird. Because she has
Did she sign such a document?
Yes.
You have a copy of it?
No, I do not. I lost it.
You lost it. Did
Right.
you sign such a document?
I did, I did.
Okay.
I'd like to comment later if I may.
Okay. Which she has had polyoma out there and other disease related. That's why I asked for it. Okay? In the meantime,
Tell me that again.
polyoma. It's a sickness that the siblings get that they do not survive. I mean,
How do they get it?
The adult birds are immune to it, but when the adult birds are shedding the virus, babies can get it, and it shuts down their immune system, and they bleed and they die. You know, it's just, you can
Did
vaccinate.
either of these two birds have that before you turned them over to her?
No, they did not. Okay. Then also she had purchased 2 more that were not 3 weeks old, but were a week and a half old, and she took them to have her hand feed them, which I don't believe it was Betty. It was some other lady. At the same time, I sold Pet Stop. There was 4 babies total. Pet Stop 2 of the babies, which I've got a statement from him saying his turned out fine. Okay? Then I've sold 17 babies since then, and I've got statements from them people with pictures of the babies. So I told Louise when she called me and says the birds died, I says, Louise, the one that you hand fed for a week and you brought back, I says, I will not be liable for that. But me being stupid and put it in with the other baby, I feel I am liable for that because of my stupidity. Which
You
she
feel
said-
you're liable to her for $450?
one bird, right, 1 bird. Which at the time, on the newborn babies that were about a week old, I asked you, what happened to them? Did your hand feeder aspirate them? Which if you get food and water in their lungs or moisture in their lungs, it'll kill them. And I said, are you going to have an autopsy done? She said no. And this is before her fire occurred. So she had a chance to get an autopsy. If she would have got one and give it to me, I would have
What does
been
an
glad.
autopsy cost?
You can send them to UC Davis, and if they teach their class a lesson, it's free.
Ma'am, you're suing for $2,100, but you've enumerated only $1,700 for the birds. What's that other $400
The other
for?
400 is because during that sort of same period of time, a little earlier than that, the defendant's daughter, who at that time was not of age, has admitted to me since that I knew several $100s were missing from my purse on payday, but I didn't know how many. And I mentioned it to her.
Why is his daughter liable for that,
Because
even if
this-
she did do it? Why is he liable for it?
Because the small claims court in Bakersfield advised me to put them together, and that if the judge deemed necessary, it could be separated, but they didn't know how to handle it.
Well, a parent is not liable for a child's obligation unless it's for necessities of life. But if a parent's child steals, the parent's not liable.
All right, that's how I was advised, so that's
Okay.
why I did it.
Your Honor. I also told Louise that if I'm kind of the one that advised her, thinking that Brandy had stole from her, and I told her, I says, I think Brandy stole money from you, and I says, let me get her to admit it to me. If she does, I will pay you that money, and she did admit it to me.
She admitted it to you?
Right. This is Brandy right here.
You did, Randy?
Brandy, yes, I did.
How much was it?
It was $400.
Okay. What do you know about this?
He's the one that called me and told me that he called me on the phone and said your daughter had a lot of money at the mall. And I said, really? How did she get that? That's when I called Louise, talked to Louise, and she said, your young daughter called me and asked me if she could go to work this weekend. And I said, Louise, don't let her. I have a feeling she's stealing from you. And so Brandy called me, and that's when I asked Brandy about it.
But do you know anything about the birds, Randy?
Yes,
She
I
knows
do.
how the hand feed. She worked for Louise. So
You
she
worked
knows-
for her?
Yes, I did.
Did you do anything to cause these birds to die?
I didn't work for her at the time when she bought the birds, but I had went out there with my mom when she took the bird, and I seen her sign the paper saying my dad's not liable for the bird if something happens to the bird. And I seen how she lets anybody hand feed her babies that ain't professional hand feeders. Like, for instance, me.
How old are you, Randy?
I'm 20 years old in July.
Are you willing to become a party to this lawsuit for the $400? Okay.
Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
He's talking about birds in 97. The birds that he brought out to Louise's place was in 98. And he brought 2 of them, and I did hand feed one of them.
I got the receipt.
Those are
right
probably other birds. It was last year in 98. He brought out 2 birds. One girl bought one. I took one home. It died, and then hers died the next day, and it was in 98.
Yeah.
Okay.
This was received
Anything
over
else?
98.
What is this bird that you have there?
This is just, they just asked me to bring an example of the species. This has nothing
I
to
sold
do with
them.
those birds. And Your Honor, I never ever got the second two birds, ever.
Right
Well,
here, you signed it.
over the years,
me see.
we have done about $100,000 probably or less business. He's got tons of receipts from me. But just not too long before my fire, we had a discussion, and he said he would replace the last two birds that I never got, but he wouldn't replace
You want
the
to look
other
at this?
two.
Tell me if it's your signature.
Yes, that's definitely my signature, but as I mentioned, I've bought probably dozens of umbrellas from him.
You only bought 4.
Over all the time we've been
4
doing
babies. You
business?
bought breeders, but 4 babies.
Take a short recess. I'll give you my decision.
I had one solid bite with 4, one on this side and 3 teeth on the other side. I had 10 stitches total.
The dog got past my stomach because the dogs got in a fight the night before, the previous evening. They got into a fight.
I said, let me go get the garden hose. I went and got the garden hose, turned it on, and I was squirting them.
Remain seated and come to order. This court is again in session.
This is a very difficult case for the plaintiff because it's a matter of proof. You have to prove your allegations by a preponderance of the evidence, and the proof is rather thin here. The defendant's admitting to one bird that he caused the death for some foolish thing that he did. We won't go into details on that, but he's admitted that. So you are entitled to that $450. Brandy's admitted to $400 that she took from you, and she's a party defendant, so you're entitled to $400 against her. As to the cause of death of the other birds, or the other bird really, because we have a receipt that was signed by you, dated January 8th, on the sale of the other 2 that you did receive. If they died, I don't know for what reason, but the receipt is evidence. You said you signed it. You said you did buy other birds, but the proof is with the defendant. So my judgment is for plaintiff against the defendant here for $450 and against Brandy for $400.
There was a great deal of confusion that I was not able to refute here, in that I never ever received the last 2 birds at all. And the defendant and I had a conversation to that effect before my dwelling and all the records burnt down. That's why my evidence is weak, is because I have 100% loss. Absolutely no records.
Well, she did receive them because the first 2, she didn't receive them at first, but then she called my wife and received one of them. That's why I had her sign the receipt saying that she would not hold me liable if it died. I brought it home, both of them died. A blue and gold died. 6 Latino ringnecks died.
She had bought some kikes that had polyoma. That's how my dad knows about her birds having polyoma and her testing for polyoma.
I've been totally honest with Louise. She's overpaid me $1,000 for grays. I've called you up and said, hey, you overpaid me $200, and what do? Has Carmen brought it back to you, Louise?
I don't remember 1,000, but I remember 100 a time or 2. Yes,
Right.
you've been honest.
When Joe took money from you, didn't I get it back for you?
Sure, we've been honest
Right.
over the years. This
She
is
is
the
a
first
nice
time we've
lady.
had
I
trouble.
have nothing against her.
He got past my stomach because he's seen her parading her dog back and forth in front of our house.
And then I also saw an orthopedic surgeon because my hand is very stiff.
No, but the dog didn't run up on her. The dogs met in the street.
I still have pain. I have scars on my hand, my wrist. I'm a right-hand rider.
The Animal Court is now in session. The Honorable Joseph A. Wapner, Judge presiding.
I know you've all been sworn. I have read your complaint, ma'am. You claim that you were bitten by the defendant's dog?
Myself and my dog, yes. Arthur, sit down. We were walking at 8 o'clock in the morning on May 22nd last year, and he was on a leash, and the defendant's dog
Were
came
you
by.
walking with him?
Yes.
You were holding him on the leash?
Mm-hmm.
And the defendant's dog did what?
He came running through, the screen door was open. He came running across the lawn, across the sidewalk.
Whose screen door was open?
The defendant's screen door
Okay.
was open, and he ran across their lawn, the sidewalk, and the street, across the street to us, right into his side of his right face.
Did he have a scar?
It's hard to see, with the hair grew back pretty well, but I have pictures here of how we both looked. Mine were taken about 2 weeks after. I had scars as well.
Sure you hold on to him?
Yeah, he looks. I have to sit down. Sit. Sit. Okay, lie down. Lie down. That's a good boy. Sit down. Yeah, I know, honey. It's very hard. I know.
You took him to the vet?
Yes, he was. I was bitten. I took myself to the emergency room, and I called my roommate who works close by, and she came home and took him directly to the vet.
You had two or three bites to your wrist?
I had one solid bite with 4, one on this side and 3 teeth on the other side. I had 10 stitches total.
What are your vet bills?
$420.
Thank you.
And what were your doctor bills?
Well, they were very little. They came out to about $53.
So your total bills?
Total bills, including also the $28 for having her served, it came out to $438.79.
The balance is what? How long did you have pain?
I still have pain. I have scars on my hand, my wrist. I'm a right-hand rider.
How many times did you see the doctor?
I saw him initially for a follow-up, and then I also saw an orthopedic surgeon because my hand is very stiff.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm an independent filmmaker.
Does that pain interfere at all with your work?
Not on my work, I would say, besides the fact my writing.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your defense to this man?
She's responsible for the dogs biting her because when the dogs were fighting, and the dog did not attack her.
How did the dog get out?
The dog got past my stomach because the dogs got in a fight the night before, the previous evening. They got into a fight, the dogs.
I know, but they couldn't have been fighting if you hadn't let the dog out.
No,
or somebody did.
No, but the dog didn't run up on her. The dogs met in the street. My dog never attacked her.
How did your dog get into the street?
He got past my son because he's seen her parading her dog back and forth in front of our house.
You mean that she's not allowed to walk on the street?
Well, she deliberately went that way. She could have went the other way to avoid the problem.
She said she was across the street.
Yeah, but she always walks across the street, and she knows at that exact time we take our son to school at the exact time. She did it on
purpose because she wanted to be bitten?
No.
Is that what you're telling me?
No, of course not, no.
Oh, I didn't think so.
No.
Okay. And your son, are you the one that let the dog out?
No, we were getting ready she was getting ready to take me to school. My mom forgot something. She went to go get her purse, right? It was in the room. So she went to go get her purse, and Gogo, our dog, saw her walking her dog across the street, and she saw her, and she just flew right past me. I felt like to the...
Who flew past you?
My
Gogo?
dog. She just ran. I went like this, whoa. And
How long have you had that dog?
7 years.
Yeah, about 7 years.
Were you there, ma'am?
Yes, I was. I live next door to Teresa, and...
what do you want to tell me?
Well, I'm the one that broke the dogs up. And what happened was the dogs were in the street, and her dog is a pit bull, and it was locked on to her dog. Her dog is a German Shepherd, and it's got a little bit of Bull Terrier in it. And her dog was locked onto our dog's neck, and she got in the middle of the dogs, and we told her...
Was her dog on a leash?
No, she had let go of the leash. The dog got out of her control.
Did you let go of the leash?
When her dog attacked my dog, it tore my dog out of the leash, out of my hand, out to the middle of the street.
No, the dogs met in the middle of the street. The dogs met in the middle of the street. She was on one side of the street, we were on the other side of the street. The dogs met in the middle of the street. Her dog got out of her control. Her dog was on the leash, but when the dogs saw each other, they just went for each other, and they met in the middle of the street. And she went in the middle of the street trying to pry our dog off of her dog. Her dog was locked onto our dog's neck, and she kept putting her hands in between the two dogs. I mean, anybody with common sense knows not to do something like that. She doesn't even know what dog bit her. No one knows. So what I did, I went back inside my house, I grabbed a broomstick. I came out with the broomstick, and I had to stick the broomstick in her dog's mouth to pry the jaws off of her dog's ear. And then the police arrived.
Did the police make a report?
Yes, there's a police report, and I have letters of people that see her dog is out running loose all the time. I have pictures of that.
You don't even walk your dog on a leash.
7 times after the incident.
Her dog was out, not on a leash. No question about it. I don't have to read these letters to tell me that. Take a short recess. I'll come back and give you my decision.
Remain seated and come to order. This court is again in session.
Your dog was not on a leash. It got into the middle of the street because the door to your house was left open and he ran out. Whether this happened in the middle of the street or across the street is quite immaterial. You're liable on 2 counts. 1, violation of the leash law. 2, the dog bite statute. Absolutely liable to her for the dog bite. She has a permanent scar, or two permanent scars. My thought to you is that you're lucky she's only suing in small claims court, because the maximum that she can get is $5,000 for permanent scarring, pain and suffering. My judgment is for the plaintiff for $5,000.
Only reason why she got out was because I had left the door open for 1 minute just to tell my mom, to tell her, Mom, I'm ready. And then she saw her dog, and they hate each other. Ever since we moved on the block, they hate each other.
Our dog was winning, the superior dog in the fight. Our dog was, if anything, the victim, but our dog got taken to the pound, and her dog, they were supposed to have her dog too, because she doesn't even know which dog bit her. She got in the middle while they were biting.
No, I remember very clearly which dog had its mouth wrapped around my arm.
We had to pry her dog off ours because her dog was and she was pulling my dog away from her dog while her dog was locked. My dog was in the middle.
Her dog attacked my dog, tore us out in the middle
And
of
your
the
dog did
street.
nothing? Your dog didn't bite back? How was your dog locked on my dog?
Pulled us out in the street. As soon as I start screaming, her dog turned around, and that was when he bit me. When
dog didn't even know a human was alive.
When he let go of my dog, that's when my dog got a hold of him.
Your dog had a hold of my dog the entire time. Your dog's innocent. A pit bull's not going to defend himself against another dog attacking him? Come on.